That update will be back to you as soon as we can. That's our senior reporter Theophilus Elema live at the Collation Center. Let's quickly get to Dr. Nwambu Gabriel, who is the DG Center for Credible Leadership and Citizens Awareness. It's good to have you join us on the news this hour.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
So from your own end, what's your assessment of the conduct of the election so far? So many persons have judged it as quite peaceful, as against what was expected.
Yes. Thank you once again. You see, before this election, before yesterday, the hype on the election was so much. You see, a lot of speculations were done. People felt it was going to be a very deadly one. In fact, I've gotten over 100 calls, from family members trying to ask me to stay safe, because of the hype, the speculations, the utterances from all political parties across board. Some of them have even declared the election as a do-or-die affair. However, what we saw that played out yesterday was a very peaceful one, comparatively to what was expected. Well, people expected that it's going to be, very violent, but one or two areas where political talks loyal to some political parties were nipped on the bud. Of course, the Nigerian police, and the law enforcement agencies were on top of the game. They tried to ensure that there is decorum, there is peace, and everything was orderly.
And so many persons have also, reacted to INEC's performance as regards how quick the results were uploaded on IREV yesterday. And perhaps, do you think this will help how credible this election will turn out to be?
Yes, the process, part of our constituency, part of our mandate really, is to observe the process of the election. We are not interested on what party that emerges victorious, in a particular election. We are just interested in a credible process. And once the process is credible, then we are good to go. Now, we also hear that there are parallel, persons that have, uploaded some results that are fictitious. There are some results that were meant for the election that held in 2020. And some persons have created a fictitious portal and have been uploading it on the social media, and that is a misinformation. That is a very big disconnect, with the realities on ground. So we have to be mindful. Any information that is not directly from INEC, we must be wary of it, because that could, that tantamounts to something that is inimical that could set the country on fire, but we do not want that. We do not want that really. So we try to ask people to disassociate themselves from some online publications that are not from INEC really. So once it is from INEC, once it is from INEC portal, then we know that it's a credible source. We have also seen some persons, coming to declare results, against the provisions of the extant laws. INEC is the only body that is empowered by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to declare results of elections. So anybody, even if it's a governor, that have tried to announce results against that provision, has usurped the power that is hitherto meant for INEC. So I think some executive persons, even if they are governors, should call themselves to order and try to maintain some level of decorum and respect the office for which they occupy.
And just before we go through your expectations, as collation is expected to begin soon, you also observed the election yesterday, and I didn't hear you speak about vote buying and how serious it was in Edo State yesterday. Do you have any more information as regards that?
Yes, you see, we had pockets of, actually what is happening now is that the kind of vote buying we have is a very classified one. You know, people do not bring monies to polling units to pay people directly. They do it in a coded manner that if you do not take time, it will be difficult to discern. It will be difficult to identify that vote buying or voter inducement, as we call it, is being perpetrated. So we have seen one or two cases where the EFCC busted some persons that were literally buying votes, but we saw pockets of vote buying, but it is more of an undercover thing. You know, somebody comes, you know, votes, and somebody is somewhere to see the party he voted for, and then he leaves and then collects something like a tally and go to a very far distance to collect his payment. So it's different from the physical cash presence for which we had previously. So vote buying is getting more sophisticated, as it were. It's getting more classified. So it's difficult to really discern on people that it is vote buying, as it were, including food. We saw food being shared, you know, in polling units. All these are attempts to, you know, induce the electorate, you know, to tilt or to have empathy for their political parties, as it were.
All right, finally, before I let you go, Dr. Nwambu, what's your expectation as collation begins? And what do you think should be done differently ahead of, you know, election of other states?
Please, can you come again?
Well, I'm asking you, what is your expectation as collation begins?
Yes, the final collation would commence any moment from now. And so long as the result is coming from INEC, a final collation center at Aduwawa, a state office of the Independent National Electoral Commission, you know, INEC. Now, we believe that the result is being produced in line with the extant laws, in line with the Electoral Act and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. However, we believe that whatever outcome, you know, that is unraveled, you know, as a result of the declaration of results, we want to appeal by this medium to political actors. We want to appeal to persons that are political office holders to try to calm down the tension, to try to, you know, maintain some level of decorum, advise their supporters not to take laws into their hands. You see, the beauty of democracy is that it allows you to ventilate your anger, provided it is within the ambits of the law. But when you cause activities that are likely to lead to the breach of law and order, of course, the laws will catch up with you. So we advise politicians and their supporters to advise their supporters to also, you know, keep away from anything that will lead to a breakdown of law and order, you know, any form of arrest or any form of fight or attacks on passive political opponents. So that the election will actually end as peaceful as it started.
And we wait to see the outcome of that as the coalition will start immediately. The National Commissioner arrives at the center in Benin. Director General, Center for Credible Leadership and Citizens Awareness, Dr. Nwambu Gabriel, thank you for joining us on the news at this hour.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.